Okay, so a little bit of a different setup here. I have got the dreaded Rona, so I'm not doing a proper video. I apologise to you guys. I'm going to film this, review Money in the Bank, and then I'm going to dive into, the best TV show in, British TV history, Primeval, apart from Doctor Who, because Doctor Who's great as well. I just want to watch some dinosaurs and talk about some wrestling, so let's do that. Hello everyone and welcome to FTTR. This is going to be my Money in the Bank coverage. Let's get it out there straight away. I've got the Rona, okay, that's why I'm not doing a proper video. There probably won't be a weekly wrestling wrap up either because I've got the dreaded COVID. But, okay show. It was an okay show overall. I really enjoyed the scary Money in the Bank ladder match that opened the show. The women's Money in the Bank I thought was a bit botchy in places, a bit weird. Shotzi in particular had a pretty rough night, messing up some of their spots. I still think Shotzi's great. I really like Shotzi. I kind of wish she'd have won. But it was solid enough. Solid enough opener. Becky was really great. I think she did some great character work during the match as well. So really impressed with that first opening match. And Liv Morgan won. It was really, really nice to see her win. And for what came later in the show as well, it was really good, really nice to see her win. Then the next match, I'm blanking on what the next match was. The next match, Theory versus Bobby Lashley, I thought was fun. I'm not too into Theory playing like the chicken shit heel. I think it's a bit sort of overdone. I really like the bit where he cowered though. I thought that was a really good counter to the spear. And Bobby Lashley looked great. He had some great power moves and stuff like that. And Bobby won. Bobby beat Theory. I wasn't expecting that to happen. I thought Theory would be US champion going into SummerSlam. I thought he'd be the champ facing Cena, but apparently not. I'm going to sit down for a minute. The next match we got was... Then we got Bianca Belair taking on Carmella. Fun match, I thought, this went as long as it should have. I don't feel like Carmella should put on much of a fight against Bianca because she hadn't booked that way in the slightest, and Bianca just made it look easy. Good match, made Bianca look great, she had some good spots. Carmella got some great character work going on. I thought it was really... Then we got match of the night, we got the Usos versus the Street Profits. Now, I thought this was a bit boring for the first half, but it sort of really picked up in the latter stages. It really got, shifted into the next gear. Montez Ford is incredible. Some of his spots were insane. Him doing the suck it on the top rope, I thought was fantastic. He looked great doing that. And his dive, straight down over the top to the two of them, I thought was great. The Usos are sort of mimicking the same style as Roman. They're doing the slow, methodical pace, which I think works to an extent, but it felt like it went on a bit too long here, especially after the hot tag to Montez, although he took a sick diving super kick, which I thought looked fantastic. And yeah, the Usos retained, but Montez's shoulders were up, so this sets up a rematch down the line, which I think will. Then we got Ronda Rousey taking on Natalya in a match that was okay. It wasn't the best Ronda match I've ever seen. I think it was a bit slow. They were working submission-based stuff, which was okay, I think. The dynamics were a bit weird here because Natalya comes out being very babyface. She sort of gives her glasses to a fan, which I didn't think she was supposed to be the babyface here. It seemed very babyface. And Ronda did some heel stuff with the sharpshooter as well, doing the Shawn Michaels pose. But Ronda won with an armbar, correct decision, and then Liv Morgan comes down and cashes in. It looks like Liv's going to fail. She goes for the kick, Ronda catches her in an ankle lock, but Liv rolls her through and pins her for the win. Fun stuff. Really great to see Liv win. I think the Natalya feud is over. Maybe Ronda's taking some time out. Maybe it'll be Liv versus Ronda at SummerSlam. I'd like to see that. I think that'd be good. And finally, we had the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, this was all a bit convoluted because, Adam Pearce comes out pretending to be the babyface and like, hey, do you want another guy added to this? And we were like, yeah. And it's Theory. I don't understand why they didn't just have Vince come out and tell us that. But it sort of didn't work. It sort of took the air out of the room. I think if No Chance of Hell would have played and he came down and Vince was the one who put him in, it'd be a bit better. But it is what it is. It was a fun Money in the Bank match. I didn't think it was the greatest match I've ever seen. I think last year's was better. There was some fun spots. I really liked Sammy in this. Sammy hiding behind the ring post was one of my favourite aspects of the match. He got some good spots in there. The whole thing was sort of built around Omos and taking out Omos, which they eventually did. Everyone joined in to put him through the table. Drew and Sheamus had their little brawl. Seth, I felt, was a bit overlooked here, especially considering he was one of the front runners in the match. He didn't have as many spots as I thought he would. But yeah, Riddle goes up to the top. He hits a massive floating bro on everyone. Goes up to the top and Theory cuts him off. Theory wins. He is Mr. Money in the Bank. Cool. I've got thoughts on it that I'll probably address a bit later. I don't think Theory was particularly the right guy at this point to have the briefcase. I think he's going to hold it for a year. But again, there's a last man standing match coming up, so I don't understand why he won't cash in there and take out Roman that way, because that seems like the obvious place. But you don't want Theory to lose Money in the Bank, because people have been terrible with Money in the Bank recently. So we'll see where it goes. Overall, I thought the show was the most average a show could possibly be, which is a bit disappointing for a Money in the Bank show that has 2 gimmick matches on that are usually quite brilliant. So the solid 3 for me, 3 out of 5. Enjoyed my time with it, but it's okay. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll try and reply to every single one of you. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.